Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Voices of Hult. Today, we're here with Rafa, our host, as always.
Hello.
And Happy New Year. I'm Daniella. And our interviewee today is Mats. Hello, Mats.
Hello.
Welcome to Voices of Hult.
Thank you.
Hello,
Happy to be
hello.
here.
How are you guys today?
I'm good. I'm
Good.
good. It's been
Very
been a
good.
nice day. Just to have to finish a final assignment. Yeah, it's stressful.
Yeah, I think this week has been like crazy. Like, I'm happy that I'm done already. So, good luck, guys.
Yeah, we're now in finals. When you see this, it's 2024 and everything's going to be happy and jolly and starting a new year. But right now, we're just ending this very hard and with a lot of work, but happy that it's ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you for being here, Mats.
Thank you for having me.
Let us know who you are.
Yeah.
Introduction about you.
So I'm Mats. I'm from Norway, a very small town in Norway called Sandefjord, and I'm an undergrad here at Hult in Boston right now. I'm in my final year. I did 2 years in London first.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did a summer in Dubai, and now I'm here in Boston for my final year. And yeah. So back home in Sandefjord, I went to an international school.
Mm-hmm.
So like there, I was used to speaking English and being with an international crowd from very early. So it's very suiting that I'm here at Hult now.
Yeah, you've been everywhere. Like, you've been in Dubai, London, Boston. Are you planning to go to San Francisco at some point?
Yeah. I'm thinking about it. I'm on
Good.
the fence right now between Boston and San Francisco.
And you've also been exposed to an international school, like where you're sharing with different people from all around the world. Was that the case as well, like Hult, or how was back home?
Yeah. So back home was I started in a Norwegian school.
Mm-hmm.
And in primary school, and I never really felt like I fit in. Like I told my parents I was bullied, but I wasn't really bullied. I don't know. I didn't feel like I made any
Like
connections.
you belonged there.
Yeah, or any real friends. I couldn't
Okay.
quite pinpoint it.
Mhm.
But my dad had mentioned this school where they only speak English, and that was like really foreign to me. I couldn't imagine how anyone could only speak
Yeah.
English at school. But I was like, let's try it out, and that was the best decision I made. I think ever. It was I fit right in. It was amazing. People were so open and international. Like there were so many different cultures, and everyone accommodated for each other's differences and was just
Mhm.
welcoming. So it was wonderful. I figured out pretty early on that that's my crowd, as opposed to Norwegians who tend to be more close.
And what were you like? I don't know. Was there like any specialization or something that you love in this school? Like, I don't know, like any other?
Yeah, so I did IB, International Baccalaureate, which I thought was a lovely school system. It was much more demanding than my friends who went to a Norwegian school,
Mhm.
but I'm very happy about that because that made now my time at Holt, it seems like smooth sailing compared to the workload there. So I'm very happy with that. And I was extremely interested in physics and math. So I did those two higher level
Numbers.
together with
Wow.
together with economics higher level as well. But it was
Okay.
mainly math and physics that I focused most on. I mean, that's where most of my attention and time in school went because it was very difficult concepts to learn and it's a lot of repetition.
Mhm.
But I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm very thankful for my teacher that I had. She was my physics teacher. She was a PhD in astrophysics, and she was very, very smart, overqualified for the job, but she had just moved to Norway,
Mhm.
and it was
say
lovely.
hi. Probably just gonna say
I'll see if I can send this to
Yeah,
her.
of
I
course.
owe her my thanks. So yeah, she showed me a lot of very cool stuff, and made me really fall in love with physics. And then I had a wonderful math teacher at the same time, and they just combined and collided so well, just built on top of each other. When I learned the skill in physics, I could use it in math and vice versa. It was a very exciting journey to be on.
So a math and a physics guy.
Yeah.
How did you end up at Hult?
Yeah,
When did we
how
jump?
business, like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
When did we jump from math and physics to business?
Yeah,
How's
that was not really my original plan at all. So I was convinced I wanted to do something with physics. However, I did not know what I wanted to do with
Mhm.
physics. And I remember a conversation with my father where we talked about what I could do with physics, and I realized I didn't really have an answer. So I was thinking, you know, maybe just general physics study first and then figure out what to specialize in. But I was just looking at so many different options for universities and programs, and then looking at what I could really do with that job later. And it seemed like the options were just so limited. Like I don't feel like still now, especially now when I was 18, I don't feel like I'm in the position to make a decision that will dictate the rest of my life in such a way, like limit myself to one opportunity. So business offers a lot of different opportunities. True. And really it just came down to, at the end of it, I sent an application at Hult, to Hult, and then I was looking at many other schools that was just as like a backup, but then at the end I couldn't decide, and I was like, well, okay, let's go for Hult. Yeah.
And you mentioned like Hult went to your school, right?
Yeah.
That's how you basically heard about Hult.
Yeah. So when they first came, it actually spoke to me. So I came to the school and had a little presentation, and they talked about the international community and all the different nationalities that are present at campus and campuses all around the world. Yeah, the rotation especially. And that spoke to me, but the business aspect didn't at the time at all. So I was like, wow, this is interesting. I kept it in the back of my mind. I sent an application not long after. But then later on, I realized that, wow, business can keep these opportunities open for me, and I don't need to lock myself into one like specified field of physics, for example, right now. So that's basically how that happened. It wasn't super planned. It was just I was just tired of trying to decide. Really.
I think that's one of the many reasons I love business too, and I feel related when you answer that question. It's because it's a very broad environment where you can choose. You go to business school and you can be in so many positions and work in so many places and so many different things that it's really good. Like, business is exactly what you say. You don't have to dictate your decision of how you're going to be for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And I feel like regardless of, even if I want to go into like a specialized field, knowledge of business is always relevant.
It's basic for life.
Yeah. Yes. Everything in our world right now has a component of business
And why you decided to go to London first?
Yeah, so I knew when I started that I wanted to do the rotations. I was very excited about all the different campuses. I was only going to stay in London for 1 year and then move on. But I think it was just easier in the beginning. Like, it was closer to home. I felt kind of bad for my mom leaving and my dad and my sister. I wanted to be able to visit them. And I don't know, it just seemed easier. Also, another thing was actually here in Boston, you had to live at Hult House for the first year, and you didn't in London, and that was one factor where I decided to get my own place instead, and I could only do that in London. So I went there, but I had a great time. I met a lot of good people, and I decided I wanted to stay at university a little longer, not finish it quickly like was my original plan. I was going to finish in 2 years, but when I got to London and I realized how great it is to be in a university environment, like all the great experiences you can have and the people you can meet, but also everything you can learn and practice. I just realized there's no point on me rushing through this, because I'll have a much better time if I stay. That's one thing, but also I saw it as better for my career and my future going forwards to stay in this kind of environment for a longer time.
Got it. And then you decided to go to Dubai.
Yeah,
for summer, right?
Yeah. And Dubai was crazy. It was
summer in Dubai. I mean, really hot.
Yeah. We were actually quite lucky. They said we were lucky. It was mainly around like 35 degrees when we were there.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot, but it's better than like 50, which or like 45, which you can get in the summer. But that was amazing. I was very lucky to go there with a friend from London who was from Dubai, so he knew of some tricks and some places. So
I really your own tour guide then.
Yeah. And I really got to utilize my time there to the fullest. So I'm very, very happy about that.
And then went back to London for another year?
Yeah. I went back to London. I spent another year there. And then I came here to Boston now. And in the second year, I met more people. I also spent a lot of time with the people that I met that first year, which are great people. And I'm very grateful that I went to London and got to meet them. I also, I went to Sweden to celebrate Midsummer with some of them now this break actually, and it was lovely. It's very nice to feel so connected to these people that I didn't know, and I wouldn't have known if I didn't end up going to London. It's weird. It's weird to think about.
Yeah, I know. Like, I feel like I've been here for a little bit more than a year, and in just 1 year, I've had the opportunity to meet amazing people, and you connect with them so fast.
Yeah.
And like, for example, now I'm gonna be traveling with my best friend, which is Lydia. Probably everyone here also know her. She's in San Francisco, and we're gonna go to Milan together and spend Christmas and New Year, which is like something that I could never imagine it was gonna happen when I decided to move here. So yeah, I think like everyone here is with the same mindset, which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's how we were saying in that episode with Kate. We were mentioning that it's really important how everyone's just looking for family. There's this fact of we're all from all over the world. We're all alone here without actual family, blood related. So we create our own. And that's why the connections that we make here are so important. Not just, I would say they're not just personally, but also when it comes to our professional environment, they are really important. You meet people here that you don't know, but tomorrow they could change your life.
Yeah.
And you could do partnerships forever. So
I feel like that is unique with like international communities and that, as he said, and that's one of the reasons I really love it. Actually, everyone is very open.
So then you came to London. I know you came here with a few friends, right?
Yeah. So we were actually a much bigger group planning to go to Boston together. We're planning for the first year, and then no one wanted to, and I was like, okay, let's go next year. And it only ended up being me, Nicole, and Ida, and we have an apartment here together now, which is lovely. But no one else came, and I'm not really sour about that. I'm very happy because the less friends I have from the get-go, the more I'm forced to go out and meet people because I need to socialize. Like if I don't, I get depressed.
Zone for sure.
Yeah.
So now that you've been everywhere, because you've been in most of our campuses, what would you tell is your favorite?
I don't love this question because I think it's always about what you make it. Like we were talking about yesterday. It really is like if someone tells you they had a bad experience with one of the campuses, I think it's just because they didn't make it the best experience. There are lovely people you can meet in all the campuses. There are great things you can do at all the campuses. And if you just don't do it, then okay, your experience might not be the best. But I must say, I do enjoy Boston better, actually much better. But I don't think it's solely because of Boston and this place and the campus and the people. It's a lot about me maturing. I'm much more mature now than I was when I came to London, and I'm more clear on the things I need to do. And so I'm utilizing the opportunities much more, going to events, meeting people, making memories, and I think that is the biggest factor.
That's amazing. Like you've been self-aware that you like in the past years has been like growing.
Oh, definitely.
Person, like as a professional, and the things that you were interested in doing before, you're just adapting that what you want to do right now to what are you able to do here, and you're taking advantage of that.
And I must say that I'm not too. It's not too bad that I'm not doing physics and math now on the level that I would like to, because it's not really the physics and math I like. It's the framework that you get from it. It's the logical thought structure and always going down to fundamentals and asking why and understanding how things work and why they work in that way. And that can be applied to anything. And
including business, definitely.
It's definitely not to the same extent in business as when you're like trying to solve these problems every day. But it's a substantial fact. It's one that can definitely help me and be a useful tool, but also something I love doing. And I'm trying now to find opportunities to apply it as much as possible to my life.
Yeah, well, I love to hear that. Now, what do you think about the city of Boston? Like, what are these cool things? Like, because I've been here for a little more than a year, and I love the city, but I might be biased as well. But I don't know, like. I think this is a city where you can do everything.
Yeah.
Like it's always there's something going on all the time.
I must say I love Boston. I didn't have a connection to the city of London at all. like it was dirty. I didn't love the, like, people walked around, they were stressed, they didn't really want to talk to you. It was a very different vibe. The air didn't feel good to breathe. But here, the air is much cleaner. The people are way friendlier, and it's much more open. I don't feel like closed within all these buildings all the time. And like, even though the sun was out, often I wouldn't see the sun all day because it was like behind buildings. So yeah, that aspect I love. And also when I came here, I did a lot of sailing on the river, and so I got to see the city from a very nice point of view. And I don't know, I connected to the water and the city.
Where do you go sailing? Charles?
Yeah. So it's out like from close to here, and we can sail all the way out to the airport.
To the airport.
To the airport. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know the actual. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. I think I love that about Boston too, especially like the area here at the university, that we're like very open. Everywhere you walk, even though there are big buildings, it's not like crowded.
Oh yeah, it's very
like
very different.
Maybe
than
New
London.
York, that even though it's a big city, you don't feel that it's such a big city. I don't know if I can explain myself. If you haven't come to Boston, come give it a try.
That's great.
It's actually like, that's the most amazing thing here, because even though you're in a big city, you don't feel crowded. You don't feel like everyone's around you, everyone's walking, or it's dirty. But just, you still feel the fresh air, and everyone has its own space. There's many trees everywhere,
and you see the sun.
Yeah, and you see the sun, even though it's cold.
Yeah, it's very
you
important. Very important. But I must say, another thing that I really love about Boston, even more than just the city itself, is all the opportunities that are here. I know there was a lot of opportunities in London as well. I just didn't utilize them to the same extent. But here we have so many universities, and it's really cool. And we have two very close. We have Harvard and MIT. And I've been going to a lot of events at those schools, and that's been just an amazing way to meet people, very brilliant people, and people from all around the world, and not from the school at all, and to like broaden the network in that sense, but also just meet great people and spend time with them. So what I've noticed is the best way to do that is not actually going to like the networking events that are just solely like the panels and like pitch decks and stuff, where no, it's actually going to the random like cultural celebrations. I've gone to like a couple different ones where I didn't know what it was. I mean, there was this one from Nepal. I can't remember the name, I'm sorry, but it was a great time. We ate so much food. We danced. They taught me this traditional dance, which was super nice. And we just had a great time. I just smiled and laughed for like 3 hours straight while dancing and meeting these people. And there I met a great guy. I'm very, very thankful for all those opportunities that are here for students, and it's so easy. Like I can sign up and go to any of them. Like there's no hassle at all. And if it says it's only for students of the school, you just send an email to the organizer, and then every time I've gotten a yes, like of course you can come. It's wonderful.
Yeah, again, it's like how you manage to develop your life and your network here, because I always hear there's a lot of people expecting to be invited or to like just go to things organized by Hult, but especially I just do a lot of sports, and I have met amazing people doing again, as you say, like you're not going to a networking event or anything like that. You're just like socializing, and that's also networking. You're just like sharing a common thing, which is a sport. And I've started recommending all my friends, like, hey, you should just go to play volleyball with me. Like, you should go to do this with me. Like, rowing or
I would love to play volleyball with
you. I think you become an outgoing person right away when you move to a new place, like all of us did. You just know that if you stay in your little corner in your shell, you're not going to meet people and stuff.
You're not going to have a good time.
Exactly, and you're not going to enjoy it. So what you do is that you even feel forced to go to places to say hi to everyone. I say hi to everyone. I'm at the supermarket, and I'm like, hi. I've met people at the supermarket here that are now my friends that go to other schools that also study business or something very different. And that just doesn't only grow your network, but also you as a person.
Yeah,
you become much more
life.
outgoing.
Well, also talking about things that you've been doing here in Boston, I also know that you are the president of a club here, which I've heard a little bit of what this club or you are doing, and I'm really curious. Like, what's the name of this club?
So the club is called Who's Cooking.
Who's Cooking?
It's Who's it's
cooking?
it's a concept I hold there. And so I mean, take the scenario that we're here in Boston. There's a lot of students, and we're here at school. And so you'll cook. You live alone, right? At Hult House, or you have a roommate?
I have a roommate.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just you two, and then you will be cooking at your house, and Johanna will be cooking at her house. And it's a lot of effort, and people will be eating alone. There's a lot of people eating alone, which is it's strange to me, very strange, because back in my hometown, my family, no one would ever eat alone. That was a rare occurrence, and we saw that as a sad thing. And if one of my parents' friends were eating alone, then they would invite them over, and it was like lovely. So it was just weird. It didn't feel natural for people to eat alone. And then when I saw that was the case here, especially people eat very unhealthy. It's a lot of takeout, bad quality, a lot of calories, and very expensive. And then there's the frozen food, which is just packed with chemicals.
Yes.
So this came from me seeing that, or me wanting students to connect. And a great way to connect with people is over dinner. Yeah. Now, whenever I meet someone here in Boston, I invite them to dinner almost all the time to sit down and have like an hour, 3 hours, 1 hour, whatever, just uninterrupted, to just get to know this person much deeper than you would just in regular interaction when you don't make that setting. So I really love that, and I've seen how good it is for me and my friends. So I want everyone to do it, and I want to give people the opportunity to eat healthier, more conveniently, and at a cheaper price. And the way we do that is we connect you guys that are making dinners, or you're ordering takeout, whatever the situation is. I talk to you, for example. So the management team, one of us, we talk to you. We say like, hey, Rafa, we know you're interested in hosting and cooking. How many people can you host? And I know you have a big place. Like, how many people? Like
I can 12? See like 12 people.
Yeah, 12 people. Wonderful. Yeah. So then we'll figure out.
I love cooking. I love cooking.
Then we should. Then okay. What I would do if you don't want to cook, for example, I could talk to you like, hey, this guy has a place, but he doesn't love cooking. Would you be willing to go over there and like help him with cooking for 12 people? And then we figure out what the meal is going to be. We make a sign-up link that we send right now. We have a WhatsApp group chat, and we send the link. People press on it and then pay for just their part of the grocery budget. So if it's for 12 people, I mean $60 or whatever it is, then everyone pays $5. Yeah. They show up, they can eat this good quality homemade food with no effort at all. They just show up, and the whole idea is I don't want people to know who else is signed up. I want to just, when they show up, they meet them, maybe for the first time, maybe they're a friend of a friend, maybe they've seen them in the hallways, but then they just sit down and they eat together.
That is so nice. Yeah, so you're not like, oh, I'm going to be in it with a bunch of strangers. You don't even know who's going to be there. So you might be surprised there's a friend of yours or someone you just met.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the concept. It's not that I don't love cooking, because I think I really like cooking. I don't think I'm really good at it. I could do it with, with the recipe or with my mom on the phone telling me like how to do it. But I do love hosting. So if I could like every weekend do like hosting 12 people all the time, I'm like, hey,
100%.
Come over. We can like, and just, this spending time in the table together and not just rushing like, hey, let's eat. Okay, let's go. No, I don't like that. I like to go there and I could stay. And maybe it's a cultural thing, because like back home, we just go to a restaurant, we eat, and we can probably stay in the table for like 2 hours more.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's a Latin American thing, but I think we all Latinos, we do that. Like we do, we stayed at the table. We do sobremesa.
Exactly.
So we stayed for 2 hours after eating, just talking.
That's amazing. I like that.
That's like our thing.
Yeah, I like that a lot. We'll definitely make that happen.
Whenever you want.
I'll post the link. Some Hult students will show up and we'll have a great time.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And it's like a really good opportunity to network.
Oh yeah, definitely. So it helps people with their eating habits and less effort. Like if you want to eat healthy and cook every day, you most likely don't, especially if you live alone. So maybe you could cook 4 times a week, and then do 2 times at someone else's place through this, and then the other one eat a banana. I don't know, but yeah, like
Okay.
you see, so that's one thing, and also especially to meet people and network, like I was talking about earlier, when you get the chance to just sit down with a person and or multiple people, a group for an extended period of time, you will naturally get closer to them and get to know them, and it's a great way to explore and realize who would be your people and who what relationships you can now foster and build into friendships. And I've met built great friendships over dinner.
And where do you see this going? Like I know you're doing this like now and then. It's not that you're doing like every day or every week. Like how do you see this going? Like I don't know, like the next year.
So the idea actually came from a friend of mine in London, Alan Trez. He's wonderful. Is a very, very smart guy, and we would do conversations and calls every now and then where we would just bounce off ideas for startup ideas. And this started originally as one of those from him. And so he had the idea of like, okay, imagine there's a stay-at-home mom that's cooking a lot all day anyways. Why not just make like 2 portions extra and then sell them and make some extra money? But we realized there could be some complications with that, like trying to FDA approve every single kitchen that participates in that. So we thought why not, instead of like having it focused just on the food, focus on meetup of people.
Okay.
So like I came in, when I heard him say that, I just had this idea of like, wow, like why not encourage people to connect and meet over dinner, people that don't know each other or have not spoken much. And that's what I saw. And so we were supposed to start the club both here and in London at the same time. Unfortunately, Alan, he went MIA. He said something he had to do with, I don't really know. I don't think he just bailed, and because he was excited about this, and he's a good friend of mine. So I'll see when he comes around.
We'll come back.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. But yeah, so now basically he wanted to just like, oh, this is a startup, let's go, let's get an app going. And I said like, we're in university, like this is the best test market. So really I'm treating this as both as a club at school and to create a community at school, but also as just testing the market, seeing and learning how people interact with it, whether there is demand for it, and tweaking the small things we need to change now before I try to monetize it. So just running it as a club for now, this last year that I'm here, and really learning all the aspects of it, what people like, what they don't like, what we need to change, and then take all that knowledge that I've gained to then try to build it into an application. So I want it to be an app that will be rolled into universities. Like you need to sign up with a student email, so it will only be university students at first, at least, because then you have that level of trust. Like, if you go to a dinner.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So if you got a .edu email, then you can sign up. Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. And the best place is Boston. We have such a big educational community here.
And I've noticed that, like, this is probably the best place in the world where I could try to start something like this.
And the good thing is, like, not just in Hult, but in every school.
Exactly.
You have people from everywhere.
Yeah.
So I would also love to share the food from my culture or my country. So if I could host something and show everyone, like, hey, this is what we usually eat.
Yeah, I really like that aspect of it. I encourage the chefs or the people that are gonna cook to cook like a specialty of theirs from their home country, and I think that's very nice. I love exploring food. There's so much. I think I've eaten every dish, and then there's like thousands more always. And I really enjoy that aspect as well, seeing what.
Got it. Well, I hope it goes well.
Me too.
Let me know, because I want to enroll. And yeah, like everyone there who is in Boston and is interested in joining Who's Cooking.
Yeah, please. We have a WhatsApp group. We'll add the QR code here.
Around
and maybe also the link in the description.
Yeah, of course.
So please feel free to join. I mean, anyone is welcome. Feel free to also text me. You'll see that in the group chat. You see my name at the top. And if you're interested in hosting or have any questions, please reach out on WhatsApp. I can't answer right now. Oh no, I'll have a phone by the time that this is.
I was laughing. But well, now that you're doing all this and you're like gonna be doing this like for the next year, which is your last year, right?
Yeah, this is my last year, but I really would like to stay in Boston for another year, actually.
I was gonna ask
So
you that. Like, what are your plans after graduation?
my plan originally, like one of the main reasons I wanted to go to Hult as well, actually, is the fact that I could go study and do my master in San Francisco. That seemed very, very exciting to me. And so, you know, I still have that idea, but I've been realizing more and more that I think Boston would be the superior choice. And especially if I want to like really take it seriously with Who's Cooking, this is the best place in the world I can be.
For
So
sure.
yeah, I really would like to do a master. I've already applied for a master in finance, but I think I'm actually going to do data analytics instead, but I'll see.
You see, M-Ban. Let's go M-Ban. we want more M-Bans.
Yes. I mean, maybe. Probably.
Okay. So now those are your plans, but you always mention that you love traveling. That's why you've been to all the campuses and now you want to go to San Francisco too. So tell us a little bit about that. What are your traveling plans after then?
Yeah, I'm not planning on settling down anywhere anytime soon at all. I want to keep on exploring and moving around all across the world. I still haven't been to Asia, so I would love to go there. But I also went to South America and Central America for the first time now, a month ago, 2 months ago, and that was amazing. I really love like the culture there. Everyone was everyone treated me as though I was a really close friend, which is just like amazing. I was like, wow, wow, I love that. I love that. It's like very different than Norwegian.
Do you speak any Spanish?
No, I've realized, you know, like a couple of years ago. So I was really bad in English, and then I started that school, and I learned it like every day I had to. So I learned that.
You're really good in English now. Like,
Okay, well,
Yeah.
thank you.
You sound very native though.
Thank you very much. But I noticed that, or I just accepted that I'm not going to learn another language. It was really, really difficult to learn English in the beginning, and it was really difficult for me to learn German. And I don't know, I gave up on learning another language. I was like, okay, I'll perfect English. I'll work on my English as much as possible, but that's it, I'm good. But now I'm realizing, well, it would be great to know some Spanish. Like, I really want to travel around.
I would love to teach you some.
Oh, yeah, I'll take some
And
tips.
Rafa will do
yeah, definitely. Whatever you need.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, that's a project of its own. I'm not going to focus on that right now, but I would love to travel around South America as well. I mean, whatever opportunities that I can get to travel. I mean, whether that's being like an entrepreneur at a company, setting up a different place, or whatever it is. I'm not really looking for a job within something specific, just one that allows me the freedom to travel as much as I want.
Amazing. And we're still convincing Matt to go to Dominican Republic, of course.
You know, I would love to.
Well.
I would love to.
Well, thank you, Matt, for being here today and for sharing like all your story and all your plans and all these amazing ideas of Who's Cooking, which I literally love it.
We'll do a dinner very soon.
Okay, perfect. So like in every episode,
You're cooking.
Yeah, I'm cooking.
Oh, she's cooking.
Who's cooking? I'm the answer now. Daniela's cooking.
So, like in every episode that we have, we end up the episode with a question from our previous guest, and you will have the chance to ask a question for our next guest. So, do you wanna read the question?
Yeah, sure. So, what do you see? The question is, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Where do I see myself in 10 years?
Yes.
That's very interesting because, as I said, I mean, I'm not planning on settling down. So, I mean, I hope I'm still traveling around in 10 years.
In a plane. That's what you said.
Yeah, in a plane. Exactly. Yeah, that would be lovely. I don't know. I'm on a very good path right now. A lot of learning, a lot of developing, a lot of growing, and I see it going in a very good direction. So
Fantastic.
I'm definitely not.
You're really young too.
Yeah.
Like
I have a lot of years.
In
in
10
front
years
of me.
is like your 10 years is like in 2 years for me. Like.
So I hope I'll be traveling. Definitely haven't thought about a family or anything anytime soon, but you never know what happens.
Again, you're really young. Like
Exactly. And yeah, I think that we should look at the future like that, you know, without doing too much planning. Because if you do too much planning, maybe you don't enjoy the road.
Yeah. And then you can also get stuck in something
Exactly.
and forego some opportunities that was actually what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Totally.
Well, now, what is your question for our next guest?
I'd like to ask the next guest, what are you most afraid of?
Oh, that's a hard one.
It's a fun one.
Do you want to answer?
Oh, I answer my own.
I mean, if you want, you don't have
If you want,
to.
if you want.
Okay. What am I most afraid of? You know, I really love life. I love life so much, and from this model of the world that I built, from my what I've done with physics and math and that thinking, like just being able to experience, it doesn't fit in really. It doesn't make sense. There's no reason why any of us should be able to experience life. Like you could have humans walking around as like just zombies, basically not actually experiencing, still doing everything, you know. So I'm just so insanely grateful for that, and I am very afraid of not utilizing to the best of my ability.
Whoa, that's fear.
Yeah. I really need to. I need to use this time I have now on the earth as well.
And I think you're doing great. So
yeah.
Thank you. I think so as well. I'm having a good time.
Good. What about you, Danny?
Oh well, I would say that my biggest fear, if I had to choose one, it's definitely also kind of like you, not using my time properly, focusing on the other side of success. You know, everyone has a vision of what success look like. And for me, I sometimes have the fear that I would only focus on my professional success because I'm very like career and challenge oriented, instead of also focusing on my personal success when it comes to having a family or, you know, just building myself as a person and growing my personal life, not only my professional life. So yeah, I think that's my biggest fear, that maybe one day I only focus on just one part of success and left the other alone. Hopefully not.
You got to keep reminding yourself of not doing that then.
Every day.
Well, and if I can answer that, I would say what I'm afraid of. I don't know. It's like I do believe that time is something that you will never be able to recover, right? And it may be something similar to what you're saying, because I love to give time, and I'm afraid that at some point you're
gonna feel running out of time.
Yeah, and that I'm like, I want to do more, and I'm running out of time. And maybe not more, but I can get to the point that I'm like, I wish I could share more time with this person or with my family or these, and that I've never gave enough time to someone specifically or to something specifically. So that I don't know. It's just like,
that's scary. That you feel like time's just running out of your hands, and you're like, where should I invest it really, or to who should I?
Maybe
spend
that's
that
why
time
I'm
with?
really organized. And
Yeah,
every
like a time freak.
I'm like, yeah,
I'm getting there.
I'm kind of like a time freak too. I'm a little bit of a time freak too.
Well, thank you.
Thank you
guys
very
for being
much,
here
Matt.
today.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for everyone listening to us. See you on the next episode.
And hopefully you enjoy your holidays.
Yes.
Check out Who's Cooking.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.